Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we're just going to have a quick look at some molts. So yes, what are we talking about this week? Well, molting. Spiders growing, old exoskeleton, out they come. We've seen some of the time lapses that I'll probably put one up there to show you how they actually come out of their old exoskeleton and effectively be very, very soft, grow whilst they're soft, and then harden up into their new form. We're going to spin around, we're going to have a look at a few molts. The warm weather has brought around a lot of the spiders molting recently, so we're going to take a look and see what I do with them and how we identify whether they're male or female. So let's spin this round. So yes, here we have a very freshly, I'm not going to disturb it, but we have quite a fresh molt. This, as luck should have it, is one that I've wanted to have a look at and hopefully identify this time round. We haven't been able to because it always chews its abdomen. This is our Nandu chromatus and is sitting on top of its molt. So we're going to leave it a little while and hopefully retrieve the molt when it moves off of it. And then what we can do is we can put it in our water solution with a tiny little bit of washing up liquid and spread the molt out. So we'll come back once the spider has moved off of this. Okay, so let's have a look at the molt, which I believe this naughty little spider has decided to, right, it just fell onto the door. I believe this one has decided to chew this up again. However, you can see that they lay their web to molt on. This is where they flip. Spider has decided to now leave its molt. So what we can now do with this is we can take this and we can put it into a tiny little pot, which we have here, which is our molt juice, which is basically just water and a tiny little bit of washing up liquid to break the surface tension, because obviously being hydrophobic means they're waterproof. So you want to be able to put this in here, let the molt spread and be able to open up the abdomen if there's much left of an abdomen and go to sex the molt. So we'll take the lid off, we'll put this one in here and we'll give it a few minutes in there and then we'll take it out and see what we can do. So as is often the case with a lot of these, we have to wet the molt and then we take it out and we put it onto a flat surface. What I normally just use is a piece of tissue paper, and once the molt has been in the molt mix for quite some time, we take the lid off, obviously trying not to get any of this near anywhere where any teas are going to be. We take this out, we drain any water that's actually in the molt just on another piece, just let that dry a second. We also have the carapace part on this one, which I think will possibly have the abdomen that we need to sex on it, if possible. This one does look like a tube molt, but we'll do our best. And what we do is we take this off of here, let it just drain the excess water. We take this, place it onto our tissue. We've got the carapace part here with its spinnerets, which I believe is the part we're going to need. This is all going to just be trial and error here and see what happens, because I do think that this spider has again been a pain in the bottom and chewed its entire abdomen. Might not have done, but we'll have a look. We will have a look. And we'll see. And all I do is use some cocktail sticks and position the legs, get them nice and spread out. I do like to keep any molt that sort of looks half decent. I try and keep. So I display them and then I will label them up with their date and time And we might be quite lucky. We might. There's a bit of an abdomen there, he says, ever hopeful. As you can see, this will... I do apologise for anyone who has, is it tryptophobia? Some people really don't like seeing these holes. Some people really don't like seeing these holes, but we'll have a look and see if this abdomen here, let's get the light in a little bit, and we'll see if this one has actually left us anything. All we do is you want to try and untwist this based on the way it's connected to the carapace here, or the main body of the spider. It's quite twisted up, and once we've untwisted it, if there's any abdomen that we can actually see and use, then we can try and sex it. I'm sure there's lots of people staring at the screen at the moment going, there's absolutely no way you've got anything left of this molt to sex, and they would be absolutely correct, because what you've got here is you've got these two white pieces, and these are the front book lungs, and there is nothing on this abdomen, nothing on this abdomen at all. And this part here with the carapace is literally just that. It is the spinnerets and the very back of that. So what we'll do, we will just carefully place that on top here, the correct way round. Come on, like that. So it looks like a complete spider. Get his legs nicely positioned, and what we'll do is, while we're here, obviously unable to determine with this one from here, but we'll just go back and have a quick look at the spider, because I think I spotted something, and then we'll come back here. In instances such as this one, which we will get some light on, but we'll just get the camera in and focused, what you can actually see right in the centre of the screen there, on the front two legs we have things called tibial hooks, and they are very obvious in this case as being right in the centre of those front legs. I will sort of highlight that maybe on the screen, but you should be able to see pretty much dead centre. You have the hooks, and these hooks are used to help pin the female out of the way and help raise her up. These are on the very, very front legs of mature males only. So in this case, the chromatus is actually now a mature male. I will quickly show you our GBB, which is also a mature male, if they are out, which they are, and hopefully on a GBB you'll be able to see these tibial hooks. If he is playing ball and not hiding them. In this case, to be fair, you can actually see the emboli, which are on the tip of the pedipalps. These are also reminiscent of a mature male. So he has got tibial hooks just here on his front legs, but as you can see here, he has also got some very, very big boxing glove style pedipalps, and he would be not wanting to play ball by scrunching himself up way up high in the corner of his enclosure right now. Thanks, dude. So yes, mature male. I actually suspected, I don't know why, that this might be a female, but as I say, all its abdomens have been chewed up like this into an absolute mess. So we'll put that to one side for now, and we'll say that that one now is a known mature male. And what we then can do is we can have a look and maybe see, with some other molts that we have out here, what we do in the case of when they're female. So here we have our large juvie subadult Colorado velocis. and our Monocentropas balfouri, the Socotra Island blue baboon, and our this one is called the Brazilian black and white, the Colorado velocis, Nando Colorado velocis. So I'll put the names underneath the bottom anyway. But these two, I believe, are both female. And what I'll do is we'll flip over now to my Lightbox, which I'll show you beforehand. We have this little gem, which is just an A5 art Lightbox. And what you do is you plug it in, turn this on, and you get a backlit screen. So we'll flip over to that now, and here we have it. And as you can see, we just turn that on, and what we tend to do is we then place the spider molt on there, and what it does is, and it's not going to show up very nicely on camera because obviously the lighting, but we can place a spider molt on here, and then with the power of our macro lens, this is what I actually bought this set for. We have our phone attachment. Let's turn that off a sec. We have our phone attachment, and we have our tiny little macro lens. We mount those both onto the camera, and then what we can do is we can get a good close-up like this of the spider's abdomens, and have a look. What we're looking for here on these is the spermithia and the flap, which forms internally part of the epigastric furrow between the two front book lungs. On a female you have these the flap and these two spermithia, and on a male you don't. You just have a piece of skin joining between the two book lungs like the rest of the abdomen. And yes, so let's have a proper look around these ones while we've got the close-up footage. And this is how we know that these two, both this Colorado velocis and the balfouri, are females. So yes, and that is how we sex the molts. I won't say unfortunately it's a mature male chromatus, because at the end of the day they're my pets, and whether they're male, female, whatever, they're still my pets. They'll still get fed, they'll still get looked after and cared for. I was hoping that would be a female, but I had a suspicion also that it would probably be male because of the fact it was molting very, very regularly. I'll put some dates up, possibly up here, showing the time frame of it molting and when we purchased it and stuff like that. But yeah, we now have a mature male chromatus alongside our mature male GBB. The two molts, those are obviously females, as you could see from the spermithia and their flaps. Hopefully it came out okay on camera. The trouble is with the backlight is the fact that when you put a lens over the top, it tends to darken everything down. It is good for sexing and seeing through those abdomens. You see a lot of people, even if they use the macro lens, they get close up, but having that backlight on the very, very small molts means that we have been able to sex molts of like a similar size to, if I can actually pick this one up, molts similar in size to like this, which is not going to show up on camera very clearly, but this sort of size, with the macro lens on the phone. And like I say, it's a cheap one. I'll put a link to the set I got of the lenses and the backlight in the description of this video. They weren't expensive. I think I got them both on Amazon Prime Day. The lens last year, and I think I got the Lightbox this year. Beforehand I was just using this light here, which is an extremely bright light. Was using that prior to, and putting the tissue paper on there and then putting the molt on top of that. But the backlight, obviously it's LED, it's USB plug-in, and so I've had water on there and with no issue either. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, I do apologise to all the people who get freaked out with the holes of the carapace, or I should say the underside of the carapace, the main bulk of the spider. I can't remember what the technical name is for that. I'll put up the scientific name of that part of the spider there. It may just be the carapace, but I can't remember. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, hopefully it gave you a little bit of an insight on what I do with regards to sexing the spiders. And yeah, if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. and subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment down below. What do you do when you're looking at molts, trying to sex the spiders, trying to know whether they're male or female, or do you not bother? Some people don't. Some of the molts, when I see them, I think, yeah, that one's not even worth looking at, just for the chewed abdomen. But obviously, because I wanted to see whether this one had finally left its abdomen alone, then I thought I'd go through the process. But hey, anyway, if you did enjoy it, like I say, please subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch up with you again next week. Cheers guys, bye.